Their strength, love, and commitment is unwavering and unparalleled to anything. So let's celebrate your irresistible power, your uniqueness, and your story for your journey. Hello and welcome. I'm Ann Oikel with Dynamic Living Lifestyles, and this is your third episode of Get on a Mission. Today we're celebrating mom magic. Know that you're enough, and we're here to celebrate your unique journey and story. And we're going to let her rip because we're celebrating moms. You're a mom. We want to embrace your journey, your story, because everybody has their own. And right or wrong, good or bad, it's a journey, it's your story, and you can learn from it. Others can learn from it through the good, the bad, the ugly. It doesn't matter. It could be great, but others can still learn from it, and so can you. So let's celebrate who you are. And celebrating moms, I'm going to have little clips that I'm going to drop in from other moms that I've worked with or have known that have been an inspiration for me, to me, around me. They've been great influencers in my life. Let's hear from Emily Harrison. She is the co founder and CEO of the Akashic Academy. She was also my personal coach. So she helped me navigate and heal a lot of the things that were happening in my world. Acknowledgement was huge for me. She was wonderful at helping me navigate that. So let's hear from her and her words of wisdom.
Hi, I'm Emily Harrison, founder director of the Akashic Academy, which is a modern day mystery school that provides elite training for visionaries and thought leaders in their Akashic records. The Akashic records are likened to superconscious intelligence, and when we tap into this field, we can not only get instantaneous solutions to our greatest problems and challenges, but we can also tap into creative genius. In addition to being an entrepreneur, I'm also a mother of three, and being a mother in a modern day landscape can definitely be challenging. I'd love to share a story with you that I experienced last summer with my middle son when he was carjacked and kidnapped on his lunch break from school. Now, he escaped 30 miles north of town after a very traumatic experience of having his wrist bound and forced to drive 130 miles an hour. And this kid stayed calm, cool, and collected and was able to escape this traumatic incident. And afterwards, when we were in the emergency room, waiting for the doctors to come in and check him, my son was processing, and I could see it and feel it all over him. And he was saying, "Mom, I felt like I could have done this and I could have done this," and I could see that he was negotiating, reliving this story in his mind, and he felt very out of control. And in that moment, I felt the wisdom and intelligence of my Akash, of superconscious intelligence, of God mind, coming in and giving me words to share with him that I realize now helped us tremendously when it comes to PTSD, which of course a human's going to experience, right? But it all came down to changing his story. And here's what flowed through my being. I said, "Son, I know it feels like you were winging it, but the truth is you knew every decision to make perfectly, and you made every decision perfect in every moment. You didn't make one wrong move. How do we know? Because everybody is alive. I don't know an adult who could have held their composure in this way." And I could see him shifting his story from being a victim to being a chosen one, realizing that his soul chose to step forward and to be a hero in this moment, not only for all the innocent bystanders that he saved, but for himself and our family, and how ultimately he's a hero for his kidnapper. So that soul has an opportunity to heal and learn and shift and change and grow. Also, as a mother, I was able to tap into a super conscious, a supernatural level of forgiveness and peace, which has helped us tremendously in this year afterwards in mitigating the PTSD. I've actually seen less in my son than I've noticed in me, and I'm still working to calm my nervous system. But I feel so grateful for the wisdom and intelligence and passion of mine in this lifetime of the Akashic Records and being able to tap in to this realm of wisdom, which was truly medicine for me in my journey as a mother. Wishing you all the love and light and courage on your journey as well.
As moms, we often forget to celebrate the small wins, and it's the small wins that typically lead to bigger wins. And the smallest little thing is important. We go through so much stuff as parents, not just moms, but as parents. And we sometimes forget to celebrate the tiny things. You need to take care of you first and foremost before you can take care of others. So, celebrating and having that self care, that self dedicated time is important. And it can be a small thing like a 15, 20-minute bath to taking the day on the golf course, whatever it looks like for you. Celebrate it and practice it, engage in it, find more. And if you're anything like I was, I didn't have a lot of hobbies. Like my husband would ride me for years. You need to get a hobby. You need to get a hobby. So my daughter actually got me involved in karate. She said, I'll do it if you do it. And we thought we could do it together. But at the time, she was too young. So we had separate classes for that time frame, from the time I stepped foot into the dojo to the time I left, the outside world didn't exist. There was nothing else to focus on. There was no stress. There was no worry. If you had frustrations during the day, you could get it out. It was great. I loved it. Tribe that I had there because it was one big happy family. So find something that you enjoy, something you can be passionate about, something that you love doing, and engage in it. Engage in that self love because that's a huge win and a huge celebration. And never, never feel guilty for participating in that. Cecilia Tement is another beautiful soul. She's such a beautiful, intuitive guide. And I met her through Empowerography podcasting with Brad Walsh. And that's when her and I first connected. And we've built such a beautiful relationship. And I'd love for you to hear her words and wisdom.
Hi, everybody. My name is Cecilia Tement. I am a divine energy song healer and a higher self channeler, and I help people in order to see through to the truth of who they are, to live their lives authentically in their fullest expression, to be able to come from the deepest space and place in their heart so that they can absolutely feel comfortable and at ease in every facet of their being. And so, what I really do is I tune into people's inner voices, but their highest voices, the best version of themselves, so that they can live from a space that feels good, organic, and real to them. And so, in my experience as a mom, and I run a business called the Higher Self Healing Collective. And so, I have a beautiful Facebook group community where I work primarily with women, but people from all walks of life as well. And it's really funny, being a business owner and being a mom at the same time, being a healer and being a mom as well. And one of the biggest things that I found is as I was going through my own personal crisis, my own, kind of dark night of the soul. It was really hard to be a parent and show up for myself at the same time because I always wanted to put my kids first. So every time something would happen, I would find myself kind of like taken aback and thinking, oh, no, I have to think about them. But what happens is if we neglect ourselves, then we actually are not able to show up fully and completely and in a state of overflow. And what I realized is the more I came into a state of overflow, the more I was able to step into the juiciness of life, the more I could show up for my children because my cup was more than full. And so it's the biggest thing that I can say to anyone is that unconditional self-love and acceptance is the most important part of any journey, because if we don't start with ourselves, there's nothing that we're going to be able to go and do for anyone else that will satisfy their needs if we are not looking internally first. And so I think that that kind of journey really helped me. Like, I was down in the dumps. I was depressed. I had lost my job of 18 years. I was going through suicidal ideations. I was in such a state, because I'd grown up in child abuse. I brought that abuse, that past with me. It affected everything that I did, especially mommyhood, because I didn't want to, you know, have my children suffer. But funnily enough, what ends up happening is we hand down pain, we hand down worry, we hand down our difficulties, and then we wonder, how did that happen? Right. And so part of what I want to say is, if you want to be inspired, if you want to think about what you can change and shift and grow in your life to step into a next level of ultimate love, we have to look at, what have we been telling ourselves all this time? What is the stuck story that has been keeping us from being completely free? And so part of what I love is being able to help people through to this next stage where you're just like sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're done running through the same hamster wheel, the same cycle, the same thing over and over again. And you've decided that you're finally ready to receive. When we receive, then we can come from love, grow from love, be love. And we are better women, better people, better parents as a result. And so this is what I want to share with you today, is that whatever it is you are going through, whatever it is you've been experiencing, whatever hardships have been coming up to greet you, I want you to know that you can absolutely have hope, have optimism, recognize that this too shall pass, and you are never, never stuck. Everything in life is a choice. And when you choose you, you'll always win.
Always give yourself grace. I was such a perfectionist and control freak. It was painful. It caused me so much stress and anxiety I just did not need. And I did it for years before I clued into what I was doing to myself. And it took a while to learn how to navigate out of that and into more joy, more grace, more solid flow and gratitude, and just a better way of being and living. And it takes time. You've got to acknowledge what you're currently living in and what you're doing in order to be able to change. The old saying is, you cannot change what you do not acknowledge. So we've got to acknowledge how we're showing up and how do we want to show up in order to have that shift and that navigational change. So embrace, learn, grow. It's huge. It will impact you in such a beautiful way. Meet Michelle Bateman. I met Michelle a few years ago at a weekend retreat, but Michelle and I really had an interesting connection because I really resonated with her story and everything that she had come through and gone through throughout her life as a mom and a business owner. So she was such an inspiration. I asked her for her words of wisdom to share with you.
Hey, I'm Michelle Bateman with Soul Journey, and I'm a confidence and clarity coach, and I help women and entrepreneurs bust through those blocks that are holding them back so they can show up confidently and create a life and a business that they love. And I am a mom myself. I have two adult daughters, 22 and 25, and just today I was strolling through Superstore and remembering the days that felt like not that long ago that I was buying diapers and formula and little rubber boots and all the things. And now they're adults and I miss those moments. And so one thing that I've really realized being on the other side of that journey is those moments where they drove me crazy and wanted to sleep in my bed with me or wake up early and wanted to just snuggle and watch cartoons. And I was so exhausted, I didn't really just take in those moments and cherish how special they are, because you never know the last time you're going to get to do that. And I've asked my adult daughters if they want to cuddle and watch a movie in bed, and they're like, no, Mom, I don't. And so those moments that feel really overwhelming right now, one day you're going to miss them. And so just do your best to just be in the moment and cherish it and know that in a blink of an eye, it's going to be gone. And you're going to be on the other side and you'll get to focus on you. So some of the things that I really help women do, because I made these same mistakes, is I forgot about me. I didn't put me first. I forgot about my hopes and dreams. And I just became a mom, and everything in my life revolved around my daughters. And I loved being a mom, but I lost myself. And I see that so often with the women that I work with, that they've lost themselves. So, really take care of you. Take time to do those things that nourish you, because you'll show up as a better mom. When we are tired and sleep deprived and resentful, we show up less than our best selves for the people that we love the most. Another thing I want to say is, navigating my own childhood trauma, and I had a pretty healthy upbringing, and understanding trauma that gets imprinted on our kids. I would parent so differently now. And so I was raised with this authoritarian, you listen to me kind of parenting. And now I wish I'd asked them more, what do you need? What do you want? How are you feeling? And helping them learn to regulate their own emotions and see that they're all important. The sadness, the anger, all of those emotions are valuable. And when we suppress those in our kids, they grow up as adults thinking that they're not good enough, their feelings don't count, and they don't matter. So the more you can do to learn how to regulate your own emotions and manage those, and then be able to teach them that all of their emotions are valuable, and help them navigate those big emotions with love and compassion and kindness, instead of, getting mad, or those cliches, stop crying or I'll give you something to cry for, or go to your room and don't come out till you're done crying. Because that sends us a message that our emotions and our feelings aren't okay. They're not good enough. And, that creates a lot of inner turmoil and relationship challenges later down the road when we are given those messages in childhood. And so just remember that you are doing the best that you can with what you have. And the more you can pour into yourself and learn about your own feelings and emotions as they come up and get triggered, as our kids will do, the better off you will be. And so just emotional regulation, giving yourself permission to feel what you feel and for them to feel what they feel is, my words of wisdom to you. So you've got this, mama. We're never going to get it right. There's not one of us that ever did, but you're doing the best you can, and just show up with love. Bye.
Don't forget to connect with others. Find yourself, if you don't already, a good, close, best friend. You can have a couple. I wouldn't recommend too many, but definitely have that 1 to 2, 3 people that got your back and you got theirs, that you do not talk badly about behind their backs. Their frustrations are their frustrations. They are who they are, and you accept them and love them no matter what. Find those 1 to 2 to 3 people and build and nurture those relationships. Because at the end of the day, when things get really rough or tough, you're going to want to have somebody that you can rely on outside of your family unit that can be that backbone, that support, and you can be that for them. We all have stuff we go through. I remember I was 23 when my mom passed away, and it was, I'm not joking, an 8-year journey of massive healing, because a lot of things unraveled and unfolded from that were not healthy. They were not good engagements. And I caught myself becoming addicted to the drama of it. I caught myself doing things and having behaviors to get attention of family members. And it's things I reflect back on, I'm not proud of, but I had to go through that in order to get to where I am now. I had to go through that in order to be able to help you navigate it if that's what you're experiencing. So I didn't know what I didn't know back then, but knowing what I know now, I can help navigate through. Let's hear from Abigail Teixeira. I love Abigail. She has 4 small children, all very young, and she has navigated motherhood so gracefully. And she's been so open and authentic about what her trials and tribulations have been and how she's overcome it. And she has such a beautiful tribe of people around her that are there to support her and help her whenever she needs it. Let's hear her words of wisdom next.
Hi, my name is Abby Teixeira, and I am a transformational coach, speaker, multi-time best-selling author, and a mother of 4. As a survivor of childhood trauma and in recovery from addiction this year, 10 years, which I'm just forever grateful for, I have dedicated my life to breaking generational cycles of pain. And now I get the honor and the privilege to help guide others through their own healing journeys. And it is just the most incredible gift. I am so blessed to know Anne. She is a very dear friend of mine, and I'm just so grateful to have her in my life. Love being with like-minded, amazing souls, and just having an incredible life and serving you all. So thank you.
Make sure you take time every day to reflect and have gratitude. What frustrated you, have grace, have patience, and reflect on what really was the teaching of that frustration or trigger that may have happened throughout the day. Find the learning in it, find grace and gratitude for yourself. It's the best way to celebrate your wins. If you watch this full episode and this resonates with you, please make sure you check out the comments below. I have links to my website that explain what I do as a business. I am a coach, a mentor. I speak on different stages and with organizations. And I also promote health and wealth from inside through a cellular supplement, which enhances our body. So make sure that you check out all the resources and the links in the information below. Make sure you grab my free resource and the 5 natural ways to ignite your health and youth. I want to thank all the women that participated in today's episode: Emily Harrison of the Akashic Academy, Cecilia Tement of Higher Self Healing Collective, Abigail Teixeira, Women's Transformational Coach, and Michelle Bateman of Soul Journey. Thank you so much, ladies, for your words of wisdom and encouragement and enlightenment. If anybody would like to connect with any of these women, their contact information is here, but I will also have it in the notes below the video, so it's clickable links. And thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon.